Get 3 instructions on how to assemble your bench. When it arrives, you just want to find the top. You're going to want to take it and put the finished side down against the floor. You're going to do this on a soft surface. There'll be an arrow on the bottom. Just point that arrow towards you. Okay. Next, you find your hardware pack. Grab these silver screws. Just kind of set that aside. Next, we're going to grab our top support piece. It'll look like this. It's going to be the one that's unpainted on both sides. It'll have an arrow on it as well. Just point that arrow towards you. It'll also like a taller edge, so that'll be pointing towards you. We're going to grab our ends. It's going to be the same whether it's the X end or one of the other end styles. The assembly's still going to be the same. On the bottoms, it'll have either an R or an L on it. So this one has an R. So from where I'm sitting, it's going to go on my right side, right here. So we're going to grab our screws. And you're just going to make sure it's flush along the front edge out here. And there we go. Flush along the front edge. Pocket screws right here, just going to kind of put pressure on the back side. Install the screw. Going to be 3 screws. These screws, you can either use a Phillips or a number 2 square bit. I'm using a number 2 square. I do feel like the square one works a little better, but you can use either. You can also use a screwdriver or a drill with a bit in it like this. If you get a bit for your drill, I'd recommend just getting one of the longer ones like that. It just makes it easier to put these pocket screws in. Okay, so we've got one with an L on it. And on the left side, right here. Next, if you can see on the ends here, there's some lines, and you just want to line up these inside those lines so there'll be an even overhang all the way around. And grab your screws. There's going to be holes right here. Secure it down to the top. And you'll come down to this side and do those other 2. Make sure we're inside the line. Okay, over the middle here. And then on the ends right here, there's 2 pocket screws that go down. Okay, when we get to this point, we're just going to tip the bench up on its end like this. We're going to grab our middle shelf. It'll look like this. It's going to have this aluminum support brace on the bottom. There's going to be an arrow on it. It's going to point the arrow towards you like this. You'll notice there's some lines right here. So we're just going to set it in right here. We're going to put the bottom of the shelf even with those lines. You may need to lift up on this slightly to get this to go into place. Like that. I'm going to show it's even with these lines right here, even along the front edge. Install our screws. Okay, again, even with these lines. Lines will be on the bottom of the shelf. On these screws, don't put them all the way in yet. Just put them in just a little bit. Hold it in place, but not all the way. Grab our bottom piece, look like this, have arrows again, point those arrows towards the front. Lift up on this a little bit, get this to slide into place. If you feel like it's sliding in too hard, you can loosen those screws up on this shelf a little bit. It'll allow it to give it a little more room to get in there. Line right here, line the bottom of the shelf up with that line. Install the screws. Top up here, same thing. even with that line. Got screws. Bottom right here, there's going to be this little support block. You'll notice these outlines sit right inside there, the arrow pointing forward. Okay, and now we're going to set the bench back down on its top one last time. We got the corner support pieces. These are going to be labeled. So here, this one have an R on the bottom, so it's going to go from where I was sitting on the front from the right side of the bench. We're going to put where it's labeled, the unpainted side, down right here in the corner. Solid screws. So this is on the back side of the bench right here. Okay, next we're going to find the one that says RS on it for right shelf. So we're going the same way, just like this. Tight against the corner. Lastly, we're going to repeat the same process over here. When we're over here, we're going to retighten these screws. So we didn't all the way tighten up when we're assembling. That. So we got our L on the bottom. LS. Okay, now flip it back up. If you have any questions or any issues with assembly, thank you.